Lesson number 4. Speaking of it, live in the sunlight. Great weather today that we have here right here in Sydney.
What does it mean to you? What do you think?
I love summer. I love long days. I love sunlight. I love how it makes me feel. Yeah, I like the warmth. I like the fact that it doesn't get dark.
To be honest, like you're a guy I feel lives in the sunlight. Okay, and what I mean by that is that you don't sit there with dark interpretations of everything, even though I'm not saying everything is rosy and there are no dark interpretations. In fact, you're aware I have some dark interpretations. We've talked about those, like about things that going on, which are sinister and stuff. It's not being in denial of those things, but living in the sunlight is actually just a choice that you make. So, you acknowledge that there are dangers, there are things happening, but I don't live in darkness. And I first heard this phrase, it's not my own, I heard this phrase, it's from Benjamin Franklin, actually, a long time ago, like decades ago, when I was in a situation where there was room for a lot of paranoia. This is an especially good phrase for situations where you feel paranoid. It might be a workplace where you think everyone's against you, talking behind your back, family situation, gossip. And it may be that some people are. In my general experience, we tend to overthink. But I remember at a time when I was facing that situation, I read on the internet that Benjamin Franklin, a quote where he said, "Don't anticipate trouble or worry about something that might not happen. Live in the sunlight." And this was a person, remember, who is in the depths of the American Revolution, plots, espionage, what people really are, backstabbing and secret agents and everything around you. And I thought to myself, if this guy can say this, it's such a strong attitude to have, a great mindset to have, is that live in the sunlight. I mean, I'm aware of danger. I'm not blind. I'm not stupid, but I still live in the sunlight. I don't assume that everything's going to go wrong. And for me, this was a really powerful understanding that has saved me from a lot of paranoia. So another thing I do is give people the benefit of the doubt until you can't. And you and I, we mentor young people, and I've seen this situation come up again and again where they be like, everyone's against me. These people are thinking this. And I say, I'm not saying you're not right. Maybe they are. There's an aspect where you might also be contributing to that sometimes by the paranoia itself.
If you only focus on that, then ultimately that becomes your reality, whether or not it is real or not. Another term I probably use to say live in the sunlight is to choose hope. Of course, we know bad things could happen. Of course, there are evil in the world, but they're also good. And hope is something that gives you, I suppose, a reason to believe that the good will ultimately triumph over evil. And I think that's another way to look at it, knowing that, but you choose hope.
Yes, but as far as like mentoring young people is, I see that as my role when I'm talking to someone or coaching someone, whatever, is to bring them into the sunlight so that they can live there. Because rather than in this tunnel and this kind of like dark place. And I think that's one of the most valuable things you can teach people. See, just remind yourself of the sunlight. You're in the sunlight. You don't have to have all these dark visions.